If you are watching this video on my YouTube channel, consider it a blessing because it took a lot for me to get here and read this chapter again. I'm going to read one of the chapters that I had introduced to everyone on Zoom and on YouTube called Akaylays World. And the reason why I'm reading it again is for several reasons. One is because I'm having a lot of trouble getting this book published. I know that it has a lot to do with being hacked and somebody trying to infiltrate, yada yada yada, taking my ideas. I know that there are dream jumpers, there are time travelers, time jumpers. They see what certain ones of us are doing in the future or have done in the future, and they're trying to go back and change it. There's a fight over the timeline wars, a big fight. And I'm one of those people who is fighting in the future. My 5 year self, 10 year self is fighting. Um, but I'm divinely protected, so I'm not very much worried about it. Um, anyway, yeah. So I'm going to read it. And also, another reason is I finished it, the chapter, and I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing because something is just telling me to read the whole thing. I'm not going to read from any other chapter of the book, not from any other chapter. To hear those chapters, you need to um, buy the book. But I'm going to go ahead and read this one because I believe something is telling me to. Something meaning my higher self is because this book, this chapter is about the hush mammals, and I already spoken about that before. And it's a species that existed. The elite don't want to know people to know, and I know that the subject matter and the information about them is so vast, is so incredible, is so beautiful, it's unbelievable. Somebody is already trying to figure out a way how they can take this idea and make it their own so that they can make money off of it. And when my book comes out, it'll just look like wah wah. So I'm going to put this out here now. It is March 12th, 2023, right now, in this time that I am in right now, myself now. Okay? So I'm going to read Akaylays World. I better put it down because it is so picky. Every time I turn this phone a certain way, my document gets destroyed, which is really unusual. Okay, so I'm gonna take some of my coconut water. Whew. So maybe we can get this party started. Akayla's World. Akaylay. 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 Akaylay? Akaylay? Akaylay! Yes, dear one, are you calling for me? Oh my. Is that you, Akaylay? Are you really here? You were shown how to use your powers correctly and yet you doubt yourself? Hmm. Yes, I'm here. How can I be your servant? My apologies for the confusion. The last thing I want to do is wallow in self doubt. No apologies needed, dear one. And if you didn't have self doubt some of the time, I would wonder why you need me at all. Will there be a time when I won't need you? Well, perhaps. What can I help you with today? Well, I'm having some issues with the messages I'm receiving from other beings of light, angelic forces and the Christ consciousness. What are these messages you speak of? Well, I'm hearing that people here on earth should stop waiting for something to happen and create, and that we have created the reality we live in now, and that we can continue to create the reality we want to be in. Yes, what you hear is true. You are your own creator. What you think you are, you are. What you want to be, you can be. Where you want to go, you can. Just be. Yes, I know, but can you understand how vague that sounds to me? I mean, you say create. Okay. Well, how in the hell am I supposed to do that? And please excuse my aggravation. This is not a personal attack against you or any other light beings that are trying to help. However, you say create. Give me the steps. Give me the steps I need to know, like ABC or steps 1, 2, 3. It's not in layman's terms for me. Do you get my point? Yes, I get it. I also get that you want everything handed to you on a silver platter. I also get that you want me to tell you everything like most people. It's not just you. Most humans are conditioned into being told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. If you do not learn to do it yourself, what would you have learned? Uh, I get it. You're not going to tell me, right? That's right. What I will do is take you on a journey. A journey? Yes, indeed. A journey. There are some messages that I can download into your psyche and your aura and your frequency system. Okay, you mean like an astral traveling event? Yes, like that, but you don't, you do know that when you're astral traveling, you're not actually moving, but rather you're realizing. And this event makes it feel like you're physically moving, but you're only moving in a spiritual sense. Does that make sense? Yes, I get it. Just relax and have an open mind. Allow your entire being to be a vessel. Now, I'm going to stop right here and interject something, just in case I do put this out online. The conversation that you're listening to right now is myself and my spirit guide. Her name is Akaylays, okay? And she is talking to me. Akaylays is a spirit guide that I knew ever since I was a baby. That's always been with me, one of my angels. And it's always traveled with me. And so she is who I'm speaking to at this moment, okay? So here we go. Just relax and have an open mind. Allow your entire being to be a vessel. We are about to go on a journey within yourself, within your soul, within your imagination, where you have lost and found me. I am your guide, your angel, a relative to your higher self, here to help you understand us. God has many attributes. The attribute of Pegasus is pumping information through me that could take us to many realms. I'm so excited that I finally have permission to share with you the things I was not allowed to share with you in past lifetimes. Pull out your astral cord and prepare for takeoff. Pause conversation. Dear reader, allow me to take you back in time where I first met Akaylays. This will help you understand and overstand the random conversations she and I will have. Actually, the first time I met her, I was a young child. We stopped communicating for a bit and then I found her again. As a side note, I am allowing her to guide you as you journey with me. Now, I first met Akaylay while I was astral traveling. And during this astral event, I traveled over many mountains, flatlands, trees. I traveled above animals that were grazing in the grass. I remember feeling as if I was flying over water, miles and miles of water across several oceans all over the world. I came to a border of where the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean meets, but they never intertwined. It was at that Drake Strait border that my astral body dived into the ocean. I remember traveling at a breakneck speed. I dived so deep I nearly touched the bottom. That was where I saw the hush mammals. They were all lined up in a horizontal row like line haul buses, waiting in idle mode. They were all around the same height and size, give or take a few feet, but each were a different color and had a different scent and a different sound. I mean, they all said hush, but they said hush differently. That's the sound that they make, hush. That's why they're called the hush mammals. These hush mammals are rulers of the water. They are the true Pisces. They police the oceans. When other animals see a mother mammal coming, they make paths for her. Even the largest sharks and the most poisonous water snakes and vicious fish, including piranhas, they all make way for the hush mammals because they fear them, as they should. If they encounter wrongdoing, it is in their nature to intervene. These animals are very beautiful. They have the physical attributes of whales and the adorable, innocent looking face of a seal. They are found in many colors: black, orange, red, royal blue, emerald green, purple, cranberry, yellow, pink, and many, many other colors, even colors that we can't even fathom right now. These animals are huge. They're huge. They're at least 500 and they're at least 500 feet and can get up to 1,000 feet in length. And they're about 80 to 100 feet wide and can grow up to a mile in height. Their eyes are large and round, about the size of a tire on a Mack truck. It is easy to understand how at first sight these animals can be intimidating. They can carry human cargo, if that makes sense. One of their many duties is to transport other beings and things to and from different worlds through the water. This includes people, animals, and equipment, and energies as well. As a blink of an eye, I found myself in one of them. I'm not sure which one, but that is where I met Akaylays. Conversation continues. Dear one, do you remember how we met? Not when you were a baby, but because we did meet then. I'm speaking later on in your life. Yes, I remember. Well, let's go back there. I want to show you something. You won't need to go to sleep or use your Merkaba. I will take you there. Relax and meditate. Think about the ocean. Think about how you were diving deep. Go to that place and find the first hush mammal that you saw. I can almost hear violins and harp music as I imagine myself in the spot where I met my very first hush mammal. Do you remember which one it was? Yes, it was the yellow one. I remember because it reminded me of the bright yellow sun. For a moment, I actually thought the sun had fell in the ocean. Everything was so bright. It had a halo on top of his head, the same color of his body. Ah, yes, that was Seceetes. Seceetes? Yes, she's usually the first to be seen. So the yellow hush mammal is a female. Yes, all of the hush mammals are female. There are no males. And the halo, as you call it, is actually a bone. It's a round bone over the top of her head. It is a part of her body. If you were over one of these beautiful animals looking down, you will see that their halo looks like a car steering wheel. Oh, I see. But why does it look like it is suspended in animation? I don't see how it's connected. And what's it for? I mean, what does it do? You ask good questions. We'll get to that later. It's important that you learn other things about the hush mammals first. The understanding of this halo, as you call it, will come in due time. Okay, I replied with disappointment. This time we're going to be traveling with another hush mammal. I consider her to be the mother of the blue whale, which incidentally are the largest whales in the ocean right now, getting up to 105 feet in length and weighing up to 199 tons. Although the hush mammals are much larger than the blue whale, at times, the hush mammals weigh less. Mhm. Dear one, yes, are you ready? Oh, yes, I'm ready. Then close your eyes and breathe through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. All while saying quietly to yourself, I am love's vibration. I am love's vibration. I am love's vibration. Suddenly, I felt like we were moving, but I remember that isn't the case, that we are just realizing. So in actuality, we are standing still and moving in consciousness. Then all at once, floating before us was this beautiful, huge marine animal, royal blue in color. Her eyes were deep and dark with specks of sky blue in them. It looked like she had stars in her eyes. The hush mammals are a marine animal that live in all bodies of water in the fourth dimension and higher, but can be seen in the third dimension if they choose. They are millions of years old. These mammals take pride in being servants, but they do not tolerate disrespect. That means disrespect towards them or anyone else. She was exquisite. She was exquisite. There was an aroma coming from this animal that's hard to explain, unlike anything I've ever noticed before. This aroma was calming, soothing, and pleasant. She had a very kind energy about her, and yet I detected a firmness and an assertiveness about her that she is not to be messed with. She was longer than Seceetes. She was about 800 feet. Her royal blue color blends in perfectly with the deep blue sea. She's pretty, I thought to myself. I cannot wait to ride inside her vessel. Let's go! Okay, slow down there, grasshopper. You haven't met yet. The hush mammals are very proper. You can't just enter into them without properly being introduced. They will get offended and will attack you, possibly kill you. Akaylays demanded as she reprimanded me. Oh, okay, that makes sense. But I don't remember anyone introducing me to the beautiful yellow one, I said with a sassy tone. Probably not, because she is the hush mammal's administrative assistant. You know, sort of like the front desk person. She introduces herself first. She is also the lead scientist, the researcher of the hush mammals. Her way of greeting someone for the first time is by filling you with her phosphorescent light. That is why you thought the sun had fallen into the ocean. She was greeting you hello. If you can remember, you felt warm and very loved, like an unconditional love you never felt before. Am I right? Yes, I said, shaking my head vigorously. Before we go, we must always meditate first and protect our physical body. Our physical body? I asked curiously. Akaylays frantically clears her throat and said, astral traveling is very serious. We want our readers to know that if you do not protect yourself before you travel, you could lose control of your physical body, and when you return back to it, there could be another soul or spirit or energy occupying your space. Think smarter, not harder, she advised me. Akele stared at me with a look of aggravation. After a few moments in silent meditation, she grabbed me by the shoulders and said, Nini, Akele often calls me by my nickname, meet our host hush mammal for the night. This is Banquet. She thrust her hands on my shoulders, flung me around, and wrapped her arms around mine and shouted, now here we go! We spiritually rushed away so fast that it felt like we were physically moving. We disappeared, then reappeared in Valquest's massive body. I felt dizzy. I can see myself dematerializing. I heard piercing noises and sounds, bells and screeching, humming and moaning. You know the way whales do. Between 10 and 40 hertz. Whenever these animals would have conversations with one another, they often caused lights to appear. It was as if their communication in hertz caused vibration in the water to move, thus allowing the particles in the water to light up, and the aroma from each animal was made more prevalent. It's also very interesting. I felt my physical body being squeezed tightly, but it didn't hurt. I felt really warm and fuzzy, comfortable, and very loved. I felt safe. I felt safe. There was this scent that was familiar. I was confused as to how that could be. I do remember smelling a certain scent when I met the yellow seceeret, but it was different from hers, and yet the same. It was then when I realized we were inside Banquet's body. This experience is so odd, and yet I'm intrigued and interested. Before I could blink my eyes, the royal blue hush mammal took off so fast I caught a bad case of vertigo and slightly vomited in my mouth. I thought to myself, ew, that's gross. But I didn't know what to do with it. I heard this voice, soft and firm, say, swallow it. I knew it wasn't a Akaylays. Somehow I knew it was the hush mammal speaking to me through telepathy. I guess she wanted to make sure I wasn't going to destroy her interior. As I was doing what she commanded, I heard a piercing sound, almost like a cross between a whistle and a screeching bird. Then suddenly, the piercing screech and whistling turned into many different sounds. Each sound was represented by a scent. And as the scent and sounds changed, the position of the hush mammal's body also changed. I can tell she was swimming on her side. At one point, she flipped over on her back. But the scariest part is when she nosedived. Nevertheless, it was absolutely amazing and fascinating. Whee was the only thing I could form from my lips. I tried to say something smart and intelligent as if we were talking. I found myself sounding like a child on a swing set in the park. Whee! Whee! yeah, I love this feeling. It's so euphoric and liberating. Wee! Yay! Yay! Are you okay, dear one? Akaylays asked with laughter in her voice. Yes, I am indeed, Akaylays. I love astral traveling. It feels so liberating. Wee, wee, woo! This is so much fun. I felt my heart racing as we traveled over miles and miles of Greenland and beautiful trees, all while being in the ocean. We went through a forest underwater. As if that wasn't enough excitement to behold, it was raining underwater with thunder and lightning. This was all happening underwater. But how can that be? How can I see rain in the water? I don't know. I can't explain it. The only thing I can assume is that the raindrops were denser than the water in the ocean. How amazing is that? Can you imagine hearing the roar of thunder and under the water? All while watching lightning strike in the ocean. Actually, lightning strikes come from the ground. That would mean that there is ground somewhere under. But still, it was absolutely the most breathtaking scenery I have ever seen. Mountains in the water, marine life nesting and mating, laying their eggs in the bushes in the water. We flew over plant life that I've never seen before, with colors that I didn't even know existed, all while hovering over the ocean's floor. And although I was having a good time, there were still lots of questions going through my mind, like, how are we able to see all this and we are inside the hush mammal's body? And how is it that we're seeing things that would normally be on land in the water? I threw my hands up. No worries. I didn't care. It was all so beautiful and placid. There was something so peaceful and so right about it. I didn't want to ask any more questions because I didn't want to break transmission. I just didn't want this to end. Suddenly I felt Von Quack dig deep into the ocean's floor like a corkscrew. She was spinning and spinning and spinning. At first, it felt like she had turned herself into a tornado by spinning and spinning and spinning. The noise she made while aggressively burrowing through the floor of the ocean sounded like a mother disciplining her child who talked too much, saying, "Hush, hush, hush, hush." Now I understand how these beautiful creatures got their name. They're hush mammals. The sound they make to expel energy is hush. Hush. It's a creation sound, but it's not the only creation sound. You'll learn more about the creation sounds and scents as we go on this journey. Just as I was about to feel nauseated and sick again, I heard a loud boom! Everything got still. No noise, no movement, no aromas, no nothing. For a few minutes, everything was dark. I couldn't see anything, and yet I felt everything. I couldn't see anything, and yet I felt everything in this quiet nothingness. I did, however, feel pressure throughout my entire body. It felt like I was being squeezed from head to toe. It reminded me of what I hear about decompression. Although I never experienced decompression, somehow I knew this is what that was. I moved my head around until I could sense Akaylays' presence. I was confused when I asked her, "Are we still in the ocean?" "Yes and no," she said. "We are in another world, another dimension, one that is parallel to the world you live in on the 3D plane. We have broke the universal timeline," she said confidently. "But where did the water go?" I asked curiously. "The sky's the water, silly Billy," Akaylays said with an index finger pointing towards the sky. "Look up," she demanded. Wow! Wow, we are standing underneath the ocean's floor. Whoa, wait a minute. Pump the brakes. How can that be? We just went through the solid ocean floor. "Because," Akele snapped at me with excitement, "the land in which you are standing now is very magical. The atmosphere here allows the impossible to be possible. So, as you look up at the ground of the ocean's floor, your eyes are allowed to penetrate through the ground, thus allowing you to see the water in the ocean and everything that is in it." Yes, I can see that now. I can see waves moving, but it's not falling down on us. You can even see other animals swimming in the sky. How is the ocean in the sky? We were swimming in the ocean, and now we're looking up at it as if it is the sky. Wow, this is so amazing. I stared in bewilderment. I It was amazing. I just couldn't believe my eyes. As I fought to get my bearings, I took a look around, and what I saw was just as beautiful as the ocean sky. Oh my God. Wow. It's so beautiful. I mean, everything is so bright. It almost looks like we're in a cartoon. The grass was a different kind of green. Somehow I knew that this was a green, but not a green that I was used to. That gives me chills. The trees were huge. The bark on the trees looked like fabric, and they were round with a hole in the middle, like a donut with huge leaves. There was a river at our feet. The color of the water in the river looked familiar. The water looked fuchsia with a light pink ombre. It brought to mind Lake Hillier, where scientists for a long time claimed they didn't know why this lake was pink. Every time they say they don't know something, they know. I looked, I took a deep gasp, trying to catch my breath. I'm assuming that the air is thin where we were. As I struggled to catch my breath, said to Akele, "I'm starting to sense a connection with the water in Lake Hillier and the water here in this world." "Yes, you are onto something, dear one. But we will find out more about the Pink Lake as we continue our journey." I said okay submissively, while noticing the presence scent of this lake. It smells sweet, like cranberries and cherries. A further look around, and I see flowers rooted in dark purple soil. The petals on each flower were moving, as if they were speaking to one another. The colors on the plant life were amazing and unusual. It was nothing like I've ever seen before. Some had more than one color, while others had printed designs on them. I gazed in amazement with my mouth flung open. I turned to Akayla and asked, "Why don't I recognize some of these colors? They're so beautiful." "Because these colors do not exist in your realm," she said. "If they did, the so called powers that be and the elite will take control of them and use them. You see, dear one, what you don't understand is that these colors are alive and submissive. This is true, y'all. True story. It is easy to command them. They are conscious. They are magical. They are teachers, our teachers, the teachers of humanity, teachers of the old ways. They explain nature, Mother Earth, and how she is a conscious being. They hold many secrets to life and our existence, and how things are made and created. And they keep the secrets of the forbidden knowledge. They are, in their own way, a type of Akashic record, if you will. They freely and willingly give information, not knowing or even caring who they give it to, because it is their job to teach. Their sole purpose of existence is to teach, to explain, and give information. They never say no. These colors are submissive beings. They are what pure unconditional love truly is. The patriarch powers that rule in your world would not know how to handle this type of knowledge. They would become power drunk more so than they already are, if you can imagine that. Right now, you need to concentrate on you and learn to pick up the downloads that are coming into your aura, and allow these downloads and uploads to align with your spinning vortexes, also known as your chakras. I was hanging on to every word Akaylays spoke. I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted our journey to go on forever. And I told her, Akayla, that. "Well, it won't go on forever, but I can introduce you to the professors," she said. "The professors?" Okay, I'll bite. Who are the professors? The professors are the non-human energies that have a conscious but no physical body. They are responsible for training the hush mammals. Can you take a guess as to who some of them are? Let me see. I bet you're talking about the various colors that live here. Yes, Akaylays said. That is correct, dear one. We call them the rainbow. The rainbow. Pay attention, y'all. Of course, that is not their real name. If I were to give you their real name, their truest name, will be difficult for you to understand or even pronounce. In your world, the rainbow only consists of a half a dozen colors and is only used by the LGBTQ community. But in our reality, the rainbow is actually a half a halo, and it has hundreds of colors. This is where humans in your world get the idea of the rainbow. There were some humans in your world that found their way in parts of our reality and took part in a training about our world. They won the right to learn about the secret of our dimension. They learned that the rainbow is actually an incomplete halo, a very powerful symbol, and it represents the sisterhood of the hush mammals. It also represents the sisterhood of women, all women. These humans that learn about the strength of this symbol, called the rainbow, knew that someday in the distant future, humans will have the right and will eventually know about the hush mammals and how powerful colors truly are. They will learn how powerful the symbol of the rainbow it really is. They learned what the rainbow means and what it can do. Do not forget that when you speak on or learn about the rainbow, you are actually learning half the truth in some cases. The halo and the rainbow are interchangeable. When you use the rainbow as your symbol, you are admitting that you only know half of what it represents. Two rainbows joined together equals one halo. That being said, the colonizers wanted to do what they called damage control. They concocted a plan that will slow down the progress of getting this information out to the rest of the world. They encouraged energies and manipulated timelines and grid lines, causing the LGBT community to pick up this sign and symbolism. Not that their movement isn't important, but the way the elite works is that when they know something great is coming down the pipeline, they want to do something else that would erase the importance of what it truly means and why it was created. That way, when people see and hear about the rainbow, they will automatically think about this community and that adopted the rainbow as their symbol. Now, there is nothing wrong with them adopting a symbol. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is they want to, at the very least, dilute what it really means and why it was created in the first place. And the fact that they knew some people and communities would not be open to the LGBT community is why they assigned the rainbow to this group, knowing many people would not accept it. The elite and the powers that were in control at the time felt that this would buy them more time so that they can figure out how to make sure you and I will never come across the information about the power of the rainbow. And more importantly, the power of the halo and its many colors. Do you understand? Yes, I understand. I understand more than you know. Suffice it to say, these colors are not the only teachers. You see, anything and everything in our world that you can see, touch, or smell is capable of teaching you the secrets of the universe. The trees, the grass, the water, the birds, the insects, these are all intelligent beings infused with the secrets of the universe in parallel worlds. They are all professors. Why do you think the birds and the ants, groundhogs, even earthworms know when it's going to rain? Animals are still connected more than we are. I think I understand. Is that why the flowers and other plant life were moving when they were moving the way they were because they were communicating, they were talking? Yes, they were communicating. Yes, you're correct. In fact, the flowers that you speak of are some of the most highly intelligent beings in our world because the plant itself is intelligent and can communicate, but also the color that it possesses is also a conscious being. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm back. Intermission. I had to walk away for a few minutes and take care of something. As you know, there is some type of energy, something, it's like it's always trying to prevent me from doing what I'm doing. So I don't remember exactly where I left off. I believe I do, but I'm going to just read the sentence that I know I said. The flowers that you speak of are some of the most highly intelligent beings in our world because the plant life itself is intelligent and can communicate, but so can the colors that it possesses. Does that make sense? Ah, yes, it does. In our world, every color, known and unknown, is a living being and with an intelligent consciousness that can be communicated, you can communicate with. anything and anyone in any language. Whoa, really? That is amazing. So we're here. Okay. Since we're here, will you introduce me to the Professor Flowers? And as I asked my questions, I struggled to figure out why Akaylays was giggling. She shouted in a loud, playful voice, "Look behind you!" As I turned to see what she was speaking of, I got a whiff of a sweet floral scent. What the? How did all of those flowers get here behind me? And where is the fuchsia colored lake that smells like cranberries and cherries? I'm so confused. I think you're forgetting where you are, Akaylays reminded me. You're right. This ain't Kansas, I said, trying to mask my confusion with humor. What you see at your feet are the botany bunch. I looked down and I saw a group of flowers with large heads and thick stems about the size of my arm, bent over as if they were bowing. The colors on these flowers were moving like frequency waves. I felt a happy energy and a very strong sense of love. It was so comfortable. The flowers had lovingly switched places with the fuchsia colored lake so that they may come over and speak to me. They already knew that I wanted to be introduced to them, so they made themselves available to me. While I was conversing with the flowers and the trees and the grass, there were so many thoughts and visions going through my mind. I can actually feel the blood in my veins moving, carrying oxygen up to my brain and to my heart, down to my feet and all of my extremities. It was different, amazing, and strangely enough, it was orgasmic. It was beginning to be a little too much for me. I started to have another episode of vertigo. Are you okay, dear one? Akaylays sounded concerned. Maybe I should take you back home. No, 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 please. I want to stay. It's just that I'm learning so much at such a fast pace. My physical body is realizing its limits. I know that's I know, and that's why we need to take it easy. Akaylays was now showing her authority over me. I want to show you everything. I want to show you more, but I have to realize that you are in a limited vessel. But what else can we do? Akaylays asked me as she watched me and waited patiently for my answer. I have an idea, I shouted. Akaylays looked at me in agreement. Why don't we get one of the healing professors to surround my body with healing energy surround my body with a healing energy wall or bubble so that nothing will penetrate it and harm me. This way I can stay and learn as much as you need me to without feeling any of the side effects due to my physical limitations. Yes! Yes, Nene! Yes, yes! Woohoo! I ain't shaved one of my arms, y'all. Sorry. Woohoo! You're getting it. You are getting it now, dear one. You're starting to understand. Let me ask you this. How did you know that there would be a professor here that could help you override the negative side effects you have here that you have by being here? I'm sorry, I'm thinking about I'm able to think 3 or 4 things at the same time as reading. So sometimes I trip myself up by trying to do too much. I don't know. I guess I use a little common sense. If this is the land of knowledge and secrets and anything can happen here, why not healing? That's exactly right. And do you know how many people who get to this point and perish forever or lose their memory of our world because they did not do what you just did? Huh? What I mean to say is they were not clever enough to think of a solution in order to stay here. They feel that they had to deal with the discomfort of all of the side effects and eventually are forced to leave because their bodies can't handle it. Please know that when I say bodies, I mean light bodies. You are still connected to your physical body in the 3D realm where we left it, but you can still feel as if you are physically here. It's a tricky process, but on the other hand, you thought of a way where you can stay, and that is why you will be granted an extended tour of our world here underneath the ocean's floor. Oh boy, here we go. I could feel my heart racing again, and I can still feel the slight discomfort of vertigo, but I took advantage of knowing where I am, and I began to think of what I wanted. I turned around and I looked down at the botany bunch of beautiful floral professors in all of their colorful glory. They were about 3 feet tall with big flower heads of different colors. Some I can't even tell you what the color was because I have never seen these colors before. They were looking up at me with bent flower heads moving in frequency, vibration, and very highly. This was a loving energy of happiness. I can tell they were happy I was there. They were talking to me. They were teaching me. They were explaining to me how I'm related to them. I kept hearing the name Chantelli, Chantelli, Chantelli over and over. As I'm hearing that name, I'm being shown visions as another form of communication at the same time. I can remember learning that Chantelli is the hush mammal that had the power to heal. All of these fascinating hush mammals have the ability to shapeshift into whatever physical construct they choose when they are on the dry land. In the case of Chantelli, the hush mammal of healing chose to come in the form of a flower with healing medicinal purposes. The Chantelli flower are the ancient ancestors of all plants and herbs that exist today. I believe there is a flower called the Chantelli flower. And there is a hush mammal named Chantelli. Wait a minute. Beautiful professors, this is a lot for me. How am I related to you? Am I picking that energy up right? Just then I noticed one of the flowers moving very aggressively and pulled herself out of the deep dark purple sand and floated its way up towards me. There were seeds all over this flower's head. The seeds started to look like little ladybugs moving around as if they were communicating. She floated right on top of my head and took all of her roots and wrapped them around my head and face. She dug her roots inside my hair and connected to my scalp. The ends of her roots felt like needles. It didn't hurt, but it was slightly uncomfortable. As her roots made full contact with my skin, I can hear her say, "This is how I will communicate with you. Do not be afraid. I will not hurt you. I don't even know how to do that. I don't know how I know, but I knew that they were trying to tell me something. They wanted me to know that there is some information that I can't be privy to right now, like how I am related to them and how I am relevant to this world. They said I needed to figure that out." Professor Flowers said that they are directly related to the birds and bees and flowers, trees, blades of grass, and all of the other insects. They wanted me to know that just like humans, these things fell from heaven and incarnated into the third dimension, and they have amnesia as well, but not as bad as humans. In other words, Okay, sorry. In other quotes, they didn't fall as hard as we did. The plant life and flowers and animals and insects all have things to learn just like humans do when humans incarnate and choose a body and parents. There is a reason the same rule there is a reason the same rule applies. I still need to do some editing. That is the beauty of evolution. So when man fell from grace, nature fell from grace as well because nature had a strong connection to man. However, nature was revealing too much to the wrong type of humans. So they had to be stricken with amnesia so that they would no longer reveal too much too soon. Oh, wow. I cannot believe what I'm hearing, what I'm learning. I feel so high right now. I'm so excited. Suddenly, I felt weak and lethargic. I dropped to my knees, trying to stay awake. I felt like I just wanted to doze off into slumberland because I was on information overload. So I respectfully stopped the beautiful professors from giving me any more information and I asked them, in fact, I begged them to shower me with protection from myself, protection from information overload. Just as I finished this thought, there was a flower whose colors I cannot name grew as tall as me. I noticed the large red and yellow ladybugs that were crawling around the head of this flower began to move down the stem and created arms with their bodies. Each insect latched on to the one in front of it, creating long arms about the half a foot in girth and about as long as it was tall. With these insect arms, the flower reached out to me, grabbed me by my waist, and pulled me towards it. This flower enveloped me. She swallowed me whole with her arms. I felt like I was bathed in a soft, warm breeze while I heard whisperings in both ears. I couldn't make out what she was saying to me, but it was like we were having several conversations at one time in both ears. I felt loved. I felt happy. I felt safe. I felt secure. I felt at home. And I didn't want to leave. As I was thinking to myself, this feels so right. I don't want to go. The insect arms gently pushed me back towards Akaylays. Then everything she whispered in my ears was flooding my mind and memory. It's like she was telling me what she needed me to know. And at that moment, I didn't understand it because as she let me go, I but as she let me go, I understood. I hope that makes sense to you. I saw Akaylays out of my peripheral vision. She was smiling so hard with pride. And she said to me, the reason why you didn't understand what she is saying as she was saying it is because you're still attached to your 3D world. And that being said, there is a time lapse, sort of like a time lag, if you will. Wow, that is a lot and so intriguing. I can't wait to learn more. You will, dear one. Just make sure you stay on love's vibration because love is the key and love is the answer to all things. Love is the first ingredient of creation. Okay? Okay, Akaylays. I will do my best to stay on love's vibration. By the way, where are we? What is the name of this place? Here is where I live, dear one. This is my world, and here is where your journey begins. I hope you enjoy that, everyone, um, as I enjoyed connecting with these energies and Yeah, I enjoy connecting with these energies in writing about them. I'm gonna go ahead and get off because I'm about to run out of battery juice on my laptop and my phone. But I just wanted to bring that to you all because I know that they're tapping into my phone, they're tapping into my laptop, they're secretly in my house. We're fighting timelines. All of us. We our 5 year old selves. I mean, ourselves in the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we're fighting. We're fighting a war that we're gonna win. It's inevitable because the energies like the hush mammals and other energies that some of you are going to be channels for. That's what I'm told. Some of you are going to be tapped in and you're going to learn about certain energies and beings that exist that no one knew about. Well, the elite knows, but they've been keeping a whole lot of secrets from us. They've been not only keeping secrets like this, but they've been keeping secrets about technologies. There are certain technologies that we're starting to learn about, but they're inching it out to the public right now, like the technology about the berry or something that when you chew it, it grows your teeth. There's technology out about healing beds. You lay in these beds and you can get healed. There's this that technology now where women putting something on their face and it miraculously removes the wrinkles. That's a technology. It's a nanotechnology. They just have to put it in a way where it won't feel like that because when you rush into these things, it's going to be devastating for some people. Just like finding out there's certain politicians and celebrities and athletes and CEOs and even some of your neighbors are being eliminated because it's just too overbearing. But I gotta say something. Ooh, I've been on here for an hour, but I have to hurry up. I want to tell you all, in addition to these hush mammals, I love the hush mammals so much. I love them so much. Now, you can contact them. In the book, Secrets of the World Revealed, I talk about how you can do that. And they are waiting for you. They want to reach out to everybody, man, woman, and child, but especially women. The hush mammals directly belong to women, or we belong to them. Most women, I'm not going to say all women that are here today because all women were not created by the same type of creator source. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can't really get off into that right now. But I want to tell you real quick because I said it before. I don't know if that video is still up. But Seceeret, as I mentioned, is the administrator. She's the first one that you usually meet if if you're being channeled through, especially if you find yourself in bodies of water. It's Seceeret, and this is the chain of command. It's Seceeret, administrator, Von Quet, who is the main traveler. She's the main one that carries cargo, human energies, plants, animals inside of her to get them to different places. Okay? So yeah. And then the third one is Shaishina. She's silver. Okay, Seceeret is yellow. She's the administrator. Banquet is royal blue. She's the traveler. Shaishina is silver. She's psychic. She is the mother of the dolphins. Four is Merqueva. She's emerald green. She's the warrior. Um, Five is Chantelly. She's burgundy. She's cranberry. She's real pretty. She's really, really pretty. I love her. She is the hush mammal of healing. Number six is Loopy. She is the hush mammal of confusion. She helps Merqueva. That's all she does. She confuses people. If somebody's getting to know too much, here come Loopy. Loopy doing her little Loopy dance to confuse you. She also does her Loopy dance to mesmerize their enemies so that Merqueva can move in for the kill. So that's Loopy. Number 7 is Mahapa. Mahapa is the oldest hush mammal. She's orange. Lupi is red, by the way. Mahapa is orange. Mahapa is the creator hush mammal. She is the oldest, but she can create worlds, dimensions. She can make anything happen. She can create anything, any planet. She could destroy it. She can create it. They are so, so very powerful. She's the smallest of the hush mammals, but she's the oldest sister. She's connected with sexual gratification as well. Yeah, she's promiscuous, but not in a bad way. And she's coitus is really about making creating things. You know, when I say she always wants coitus, that just means she always wants to create. And we as human, we get coitus confused with something to have fun, something because it feels good. Really, technically, you should have coitus to create. What is you creating? You want to create another human being? You want to create another body? Or do you want to create love? Do you want to create positivity? Do you want to create good vibrations when you're having coitus? Technically, you're supposed to have a reason to have coitus. Just because you're old enough and you know how to do it don't mean you should. Okay, so that's number 7. Mahapa, orange. 8 is Cat. She's brown. She's the ambassador over animals. Okay, the animals of the animal kingdom or animal queendom. That's Cat. She connects with them. She's the one that helped Banquet get some of our so-called extinct animals to another timeline or dimension because the powers that be here, they're so greedy, they wanted to kill them all. You notice how they want to kill all the elephants? They just want to kill all these animals just to take. They don't care. They don't care. So Cat went to war and fought them. Oh, I have so many stories to tell you about these hush mammals because they got into a lot of different wars with humans. Okay, Cat, brown, ambassador for animals. Number 9 is Purple Penny. Purple Penny is the walking encyclopedia. She knows everything. She sees everything. She hears everything. She's very, very smart. She's like the nerd. She's the one, if you want to know something, she'll tell you. But if you don't have a good reason for asking her, she will bust your chops. They're very, very kind and very approachable, but they don't play. They don't approach them with sarcasm because that'll get you slapped. They don't play. They're very kind, but they are very serious. Okay? Purple Penny is number 8 or 9, I think. 9. Okay? She's purple. The 10th one is La La La. Sometimes they call her Lolly. But her name is La La La. And she's pink. And she's the hush mammal of love. She's also the mother of the pink dolphins. Quickly, let me see. Number 11 is G Junkie. G Junkie is white. G Junkie is the only hush mammal that does not have a halo over her head, but she has a crystal on her head. I think it's selenite crystal. I can't remember the name of the crystal, but it's sticking out the top of her head. She's the mother of the what is those dolphins or whales with the horn in their head? They call them the ocean unicorn. They also call G Junkie the ocean unicorn. The warhols. Oh man, I forgot the name of those. It's either a shark or a dolphin, and they in real life, for real, it has a horn sitting right here. I think it's a shark. But G Junkie looks like that, only she's white and she's really big. G Junkie is actually the youngest of the first 12 hush mammals, because I'm only talking about the first 12. There are thousands of hush mammals. The first 12 are the biggest ones. The other ones aren't as big as them. They might be 80 feet long or 200 feet long or 150 feet long. These main 13 are between 500 and 1,000, maybe larger. G Junkie is the youngest of these first 12, but she's bigger than them. G Junkie cleans their waste. G Junkie keeps them um she keeps them going. She's mostly made of gas. You know the halo, she don't have a halo, but she has teats under her breast, under her belly, that they swim under her and connect their halo to those round teats that's under her belly, and she feeds them energy because she goes behind them and cleans up their mess, their excrement, their period, because hush mammals have periods. She cleans all that up, and yeah, you have to read the book. I don't want to say too much, but she's white, and that's what she does. And then the 12th one is, we're just gonna call her Hush Hue because we don't know how to say her name. When she came to me, she let me know that her name is the same as her color, but because I can't fathom her color, you and I can't fathom her color because it's of a different world. There are colors that actually exist that we can't imagine. Oh, I gotta go. That we can't imagine, you know. So it's hard to say her name because we don't know her name. We don't understand her name because we can't see her color yet. We're not on that level. So we just call her by the sound she makes, which is Hush Hue. That's the sound she makes. Hush Hue. Well, you're not supposed to say it like that. But in the book, it tells you how to say Hush Hue. But anyway, the 13th one is Mother Majesty. Mother Majesty is jet black. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say about her. But the so-called rainbow is actually a halo. It's actually half of a halo. And all of the colors that I mentioned is in that halo, including black. So it's black and silver, brown, burgundy, and y'all know all of the rest of them. Okay, white is also in that. It's supposed to be on the rainbow as well. All right, let me know if you have any comments, any suggestions. The name of the book again is Secrets of the World Revealed, and I'm going through a lot to getting it published because we're fighting timelines. There are some people in I might have been in jail in the future 5 or 10 years from now because they don't want this to come out. But speaking up about it right now is saving me. It's saving me and it's saving other people. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. That's why I'm not even supposed to worry about how many views I have or how many subscribers I have. Squash that. I don't care. So I'm saying this now. Okay? So for us in the future, we're winning. We're winning. And they're not going to make me angry. They're not. I mean, they get me angry and make me sad when they go into my phone. They've been doing it since I was reading to you guys. I had to keep stopping. They erase things or they'll shut my phone down. They just do all kinds of stuff because they're angry because they're losing. Thank you for listening. I love you all. Stand up.